Big-budget sci-fi flops don't usually get redemption arcs. They disappear quietly into algorithmic oblivion, remembered only by die-hard fans and, what went wrong? YouTube essays. But one of Hugh Jackman's most ambitious, and controversial, projects is suddenly back in the spotlight, thanks to a surprise move that's letting audiences watch it for free. Yes, really. No ticket price. No rental fee. Just a bold, visually wild adaptation of a cult classic sci-fi story that once cost a jaw-dropping $299 million to bring to life. And history is finally being a little kinder to it. A sci-fi dream years in the making. When this project was first announced, expectations were sky high. The source material already had a devoted fanbase, the kind that debates canon in forums at 3 a.m. and treats the original text like sacred scripture. Translating that kind of cult sci-fi to the big screen was always going to be risky. Still, the studio went all in. The result? A sprawling, effects-heavy adaptation with world-building on a massive scale, a futuristic aesthetic that leaned hard into spectacle, and a philosophical core that tried to ask big questions about humanity, technology, and survival. Hugh Jackman, fresh off a run of career-defining performances and still riding the global goodwill of his action hero era, was positioned as the emotional anchor. He wasn't just the star, he was the face of the gamble. The $299 million question: what went wrong? On paper, the ingredients were there. A beloved sci-fi concept, a charismatic, bankable lead, cutting-edge visual effects, a studio willing to spend almost $300 million. But when the film finally hit theaters, the reaction was complicated. Critics were divided. Some praised the ambition, the design, and Jackman's commitment. Others felt the story buckled under the weight of its own scale, arguing that character depth got lost amid the CGI spectacle. Audiences were just as split. Fans of the original material debated changes to the story, while casual moviegoers weren't quite sure what kind of sci-fi epic they were watching. Was it a blockbuster? A thoughtful genre piece? A nostalgic tribute? It tried to be all three, and that confusion hurt its box office legs. The result was a film that didn't quite live up to its financial expectations, instantly earning the dreaded label, big-budget disappointment. Why it's being re-evaluated now? Here's the thing about sci-fi: time is often its greatest ally. Years later, removed from hype cycles and opening weekend pressure, this Hugh Jackman epic has quietly found new fans. Viewers revisiting it on streaming have pointed out what they missed the first time around. Surprisingly emotional themes, a stronger third act than remembered, visual effects that aged better than expected, Jackman delivering a performance far more nuanced than the marketing suggested. In an era where audiences binge entire franchises and seek out ambitious genre swings, the film suddenly feels relevant again. And now that it's available to stream for free on ad-supported platforms, curiosity is spiking. Free streaming changes everything. There's something powerful about removing the price barrier. When viewers don't feel like they're risking money, they're more open to giving a divisive movie a fair shot. That's exactly what's happening here. Social media chatter has picked up, clips are circulating again, and first-time viewers are discovering the film without the baggage of its original release. For some, it's a pleasant surprise. For others, it's a fascinating mess. And for longtime defenders, it's vindication. This free streaming revival is proof that theatrical performance isn't always the final verdict, especially for sci-fi. Hugh Jackman's role in the film's legacy. Looking back, this project occupies a strange but important place in Hugh Jackman's career. It wasn't a superhero tentpole. It wasn't prestige awards bait. It was a swing, a massive, risky swing, at genre storytelling on a grand scale. Jackman has since spoken openly in various interviews about choosing projects that challenge him, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. In hindsight, that mindset is written all over this film. His performance is earnest, physical, and emotionally grounded, even when the story around him veers into the fantastical. That commitment is one of the main reasons the movie still works for many viewers today. A cult classic in the making. Not every expensive sci-fi adaptation gets a second chance. Fewer still get to redefine themselves years later. But this one, it's inching closer to cult classic status, the kind of movie people recommend with a caveat. It's flawed, but you should absolutely watch it. Free streaming might be the final piece of the puzzle. By reaching a new audience with zero financial risk, the film gets to exist on its own terms at last, not as a box office headline, but as a bold, strange, ambitious sci-fi story.